STS deprogrammed for a reason, because I had to get rid of that old programming that nearly took my life away. It's all life shit. That's why I'm here today. And yeah, we're back with Lady Crown, and we don't stay down, we stay up, and we don't chat pop. But it's not real talk. It's another midweek catch up. And yeah, shout outs to Christian out there who commented the other day on my thought patterns. Yeah, man, stay positive as well, bro. You get me? Stay present, because trust me, like I like to say, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. Big up to you for that comment out there. And yeah, special shout outs to Robert Nestor Marley, aka Bob Marley. You get me? The legend out there. And yeah, man, Exodus. That's all I gotta say.
Movement of your people.
Trust me.
Trust me.
Oh yeah.
That's what's happening all over the world.
Me, that
people
light.
Getting up,
yeah, man.
Rising up and taking back
their
freedom, because it's been taken. You know what I'm saying? Like the movie, taken them to techie. So right about now.
Because we live in a world of hypocrisy.
100%. Lies.
Lies,
and more lies, to the point where we repeat the lies like it's something factual, because it's been passed down from generation to generation to generation. No evidence to back it up, but that's what happens. That's how they get to change the mindset of men and women, to the point when we speak absolute shite.
Yo, 5% in it, you know what I mean? Trust me.
We speak absolute shite, and we speak it with such authority, because Professor so-and-so said, or Minister so-and-so said, or the Prime Minister said, or Queen or King said. Do you know what I'm saying? We just repeat the garbage.
That's how the subconscious works as well. So it's all interconnected. I think we're in a world right now where we need to think for ourselves. We need to be free thinkers in it, instead of the matrix programming that a lot of us have got. Because it is a choice. This is why I love saying, and I say it all the time, tapping in every single second. Because when you do, excuse me, when you do this, you can think of your present moment, not think from a program from somebody else that's gave you that information that doesn't actually help you on your journey. In fact, it's destructive, you know, not only for self, but for everybody around you.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of us have been programmed to hurt one another, you know, not help one another. And shouts to Bob Marley once again. His music's got that vibration of love, baby. Oh yeah. You know, that frequency that uplifts you, makes you feel better about
yourself. Makes you feel real good. You know what I mean? Bob said, don't worry about a thing.
Don't worry about a thing, because everything's gonna be all right. You know what I mean?
He was an amazing artist and entertainer, and what he sang about, what he spoke about, was just love. You know what I'm saying? Just love. And I guess the powers that be didn't quite like that, because, you know what I mean? I would say that he went everywhere that he went, you know, people flocked to hear him, because all he spoke about was love. You imagine going to a concert and all you're speaking about is love and togetherness and making things equal. So, you know, like I said, there's a philosophy that what makes one race superior than another, then everywhere is war. Well, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. When you pitch mother against father, you're going to get war. You know, brother against brother, you're going to get war, because that's what the society's done. And Bob broke down all of those barriers. He removed it. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, rotted, he's got to go. And we know at the early age that he transitioned, and from cancer as well. No.
And you know, the age 36, number 9.
Yeah.
Completion.
Yeah.
The numbers always align, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, man.
Yeah.
Like, Bob fulfilled his purpose on this planet.
Oh, most definitely.
You get me?
Most definitely.
So shout outs to him.
They know that we're rhythmic beings, that, you know, we resonate on different vibrations and frequency. And, you know, if they can get you off your nature, your natural rhythm and frequency, and get you into the, you know, I mean, drill music. Just listen to the words drill. You know, it doesn't sound loving and warming and caring. Do you know what I'm saying?
Kill.
Exactly. Yeah. Or the, you know, turning reggae into dance, or then bashment. Listen to the word bashment.
It's in the words.
You get what I'm saying? Words, How can that be about loving and caring and respecting you one another in a dance? It's not, because you go into a bashment, so you're going to get women that are scantily dressed, that perform all kind of, I call it what it is, nastiness. You can't call that dancing. You're simulating sex, and on a lot of occasions in some of them called places that people go to, they actually do the real deal in front of people. They don't know them one another. That's how depraved. Look at that. That's just so that's depravity. When you could go to a dance and end up having, I don't know, you know what I mean? I say, nastiness, because the music is telling you, you know, you know what I'm saying? And that's all they're hearing, and they behave in the way that the music represents. Now, if that was a Bob Marley concert or a dance where it was just going to be all lovers rock, because back in the day, I used to go to lovers rock dances, trust me, a pure lovers in the dance. No war, no everything peace and people smiling and laughing. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? Men and women coming together. It was beautiful. And they destroyed that because, you know, SCS's era wasn't one of lovers rock. And I said to him, you know, the best for me personally, the 60s. Oh, me glad. So tell me a 60s beer, because I was coming off the back of Mom's music. Until this day, I still play some of her music. Toots and the Maytals, Pioneers, Desmond Decker.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
We grew up in era of hip hop.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And quite a lot of it was gangster rap.
Initially, it was unifying.
And
then they
70s,
took it.
80s,
Yes.
The 90s. I'm a 90s baby.
Yeah.
It was gangster rap.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was what
Then
really
that's what was
me?
fed into Uno.
Yeah, it's programming. You know, music is very powerful.
Very
because
powerful.
what it does, it trains the mind to think in a certain way.
Yes.
You know, it's more powerful than any book out there. You know why? Because the voices stay in your head. It's got that rhythm, like you said, that vibration. Just like Bob Marley, it stays in your head.
Yeah, we've been singing it all
You've
day,
been
haven't we,
singing
from
because
yesterday?
because it stays within you.
You will
know
hear
what I
a
mean?
tune that you actually go, oh, kind of fart. Is that
Yeah,
like
you
that?
know the radio
Then, yo,
tunes.
the
You
next
get
minute
me?
you're singing it.
Yeah, you're singing because it's programming.
It's
Trust
gone
me.
into your subconscious, you know what I mean? And you're open, you're thinking, shit, why am I singing that for? I don't even like it. You understand what I'm saying? That's how powerful music is, and they know that's why they've taken control over it, and then give us the people that they want you to emulate, your Little Wayne, your 50 Cents, and all of them, man. Then all they spoke about was pure nastiness.
I remember Pac saying, "Don't just bop your head to the beat. Listen to the lyrics."
You
know?
better.
Because the way a lot of the music industry gets people is by production. Because the production is elite,
Yes.
people listen to it,
Yeah.
regardless of what man is saying. You get me?
Especially when they went from just the, you know, audio type music, and then gave you the
Auto-tune.
then gave you, where you can watch it on like a video, so you can now see the
music videos.
music videos,
yeah.
and then with all the drama and theatrics that came with it,
It's a whole production.
that really captured, man.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? These
So
people,
it's proper entertainment.
100%. You just look at the Tavistock Institute and see what they do there, because that's what they do. Practice and learn how to control your mind to the point where you don't even know what the backside you're doing and what you're saying. It's just coming out of you.
That's why I say it's key to watch what you're watching.
Yeah.
And what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Because it is shaping your reality.
Absolutely.
You know, the subconscious is a master recorder.
Yeah.
It records everything.
Everything.
Every single thing you do.
Everything.
You know? And then it will come back in later days, even years to come.
Yeah.
It'll come back and it'll just still be there. So gotta be aware of this, man.
Absolutely.
Trust
I
me.
remember, back in the day going to dances and stuff, and then certain even then they were trying to sneak in them little nasty music them. And going to the latest. I'm not talking about in the 70s and 80s when I was in the back, but the 90s and the early 2000s. And I'm like, hang on a second, what did he or she just say? And I'd be like bopping. Next minute, bop. And like friends were like, so what? You're not dancing. I just look at them play and say, I don't dance just like this. Oh, it's only a music, it's only a tune. I say, listen to the words. You get what I'm saying? Always been different like that. I'm not sheeple. You get me?
Free thinker.
And what I hear, it has to resonate with me. And if it doesn't make me feel good, then I'm right. But I'm like, oh, so stop right there. Me gone. I'm not that's not me. I can't just go, I'm out for the night and it don't matter what I listen to. It's like, as long as I'm having a good time, no. It doesn't work like that with me. You know what I'm saying? So I would stop dead on the tracks and everybody look at me like, oh, why is she dancing? Come in, I dance this like this. And everybody around me, even the friends that I've gone out with, will be there flinging it hand up in the ear and I broke up.
I broke out.
Me, I broke in.
Yeah, I broke in.
I ain't-
Tapping in.
Exactly.
Real life.
I'm not going there.
Yeah.
You must have morals and you must have decency. And if you don't, you can forget them because you're hearing certain music that's spinning out certain tune. And more time it's denigrating you as a woman. and what you must fling up and give and all the rest of it, and you're hand in there singing. Oh my God, how do you expect the brothers to respect you? Can you tell them right out? Listen, yo, I'm just a piece of meat. You know what I mean? Just come lay me out. Do what you want to do, fam. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're doing. No
Ah,
decent man wants a woman where I behave like that. And I don't think a decent woman wants a man who's out there running up behind any strange gal and a rub up himself on them. Nastiness. But they normalised it to the point where everybody was doing it. And if you weren't, then you looked like you was the odd one out. Well, guess what? I'll be the odd one out then. Because we don't go there, you know. It doesn't cost much for morals and decency. And just because something's been pushed at you doesn't mean that you can't look at it with a critical eye and go, you know what? I'm not feeling that, you know, because it's from in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have some control over your mind. Otherwise, they'll mind control your ass.
because when you free your mind,
No.
you'll be connected to the divine. It's real life, you know. Because trust me, you know, a lot of people are living in prison without actually being in prison. You get me? Because it all comes down to your headset, you know. Shout out to the spirit guys out there. Look what download for on there, yeah. The spirit guys are saying that, and it's so true that I was speaking to you about earlier, that we need to learn how to control our focus and our feelings, because it creates a lot of our reality. You know, every time we focus on something, we're making a vibrational agreement to what we're focusing on. So focus is key out here, you know, because we're in a world where there's many distractions. So your focus is like, oof, well, it's priceless right now, fam. Because whatever you focus on, try and know it grows. Shout out to my mentor out there. We need to really focus on what best serves us. We need to, key thing here, love ourselves, because the love frequency is what's going to change this whole planet. Not the fear. The fear is going to keep us down here. You know what I mean? So we need to tap into love. We need to tap into self-care, self-awareness, the awareness of knowledge of self, because we're in a world where we're not doing what's right, you know. A lot of us, we're not doing what's right, and then guess what happens? We end up complaining when we don't get the right results. Imagine that. We're not doing what's right, then we end up complaining about the results of what we're getting when we're not doing what's right. It's madness, you know.
Yeah.
For me, it's insanity. It's cognitive dissonance. You're doing something that goes against yourself, then you're complaining about it. Imagine that. Yo, fam, think about it. It's mad, isn't it? So it shows you about our thought patterns. We're not thinking straight. And also, the spirit guys were talking about this as well. The education system has taught us not to think for ourselves. It's taught us to be factory workers for the most part. And this is why we have so many people with a limited perspective of life. You know, we need to update our belief system, because this is how crazy it is, yeah. People will get advanced truths, yeah, see the truth and say, you know what? I'm going to stick with my belief system, even though that's the truth. I'm going to stick because it's a program. It's so hardwired into our brain. We don't want to change.
They can't.
Even when we see an advanced truth in front of us, we say, yeah, I see that, but you know what? I'm sticking with what I know.
believe.
I believe,
Yeah,
shall I
they
say?
don't
Not
know.
even know.
Yeah,
I believe. And you know, shout out to Dr. Bruce Lipton out there. He's got a book out there, Power of Belief. Try know. Your belief shapes your reality. Whatever you believe, you've got to try and know it's going to manifest. It's going to manifest for you, you know, whether good or bad for you. So it's so key for us to update our belief system, realizing that we're limitless beings. We got extreme power to manifest anything out here, greatness. But we need to get rid of a lot of that programming from the past, you know, and get more present and realize that we can tap in now. You know what I mean? Not later, not next year, in the next right now, innit? We need to get more present and realize that our focus is everything, man, because we're in a world where the focus is it's mainly, for most people, it's on the matrix, man. It's on the matrix, and the matrix is causing so many tricks for us. We need to get back into our heart center and realize that the more love that we give out, the more love that we get back, you know. The more fear that we give out, the more fear that we get back. It's simple as that. And trust me, we need to look after ourselves, you know. We really do, because I know this message that we're giving off isn't popular, but try know it's important.
Yeah.
It's very important, man, you know, because shout out to my brother K Reno right now, yeah, just coming off my head, yeah. He said, listen, a wise words can help a child, and trust me, we need to help the children, with what we say, what we do, because it resonates with them. They're picking up on all the information that's getting installed into the subconscious, into their mind. So realize that you don't need to be dressing your children up in stroppy clothes, slutty clothes for the little girls, flipping, you know, this type of gangsterism for the boys, because they're getting shaped right now. So we need to install this king and queen type of, you get me, type of model within them right now. So when they grow up, they can take it from there. Because whatever you install in them now, try and know it's going to resonate with them, man. Because trust me, the programming, just like Dr. Bruce Lipton, once again, 0 to 7 years old, that's when most people are getting programmed. So remember this, yeah, when you're talking to most adults here, you're talking to their inner child. It's just that they're presenting the ego self. That don't mean jack, because what's going on in the subconscious is the real programming, is the real reality of their life. And this is why most people haven't got advanced thinking, because they haven't tapped into the subconscious. So check this out now, yeah. If you lived your life, because I was one of them, trust me, if you live your life, yeah, always externalizing your power, yeah, more time, you've got that limited 0 to 7-year-old program, 100%, man. And it limits you a lot because you're not able to advance your thinking, advance your learning, and go further in your life, because you're limited with what you know from the past. So you're not present. So most people really need to tap into the subconscious, man, because without it, trust me, you're very limited, man. Tap into Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's one of the best master teachers when it comes to the subconscious, and he really lives this, man. And one thing that I'll say about the subconscious before I bring Lady Crown back in is that this is so key, when you really tap into your subconscious and reprogram yourself, me, STSD programmed, yeah, guess what happens? You actually speak from your every single second thought pattern. You don't speak from a program of bullcrap and lies. You speak from your truth. So you see, when Dr. Bruce Lipton speaks, you can tell that's really his inner self. He's not giving you some fake reality. And that's what really can help you with the subconscious. It actually brings you back to truth, It brings you back to that vibration of love, brings you back to that vibration of who you truly are. Because you are a star, you know what I mean? A lot of people have been programmed with a lot of negatives. Shout out to my older Master T out there. I think he said something like, by the time you get to 18 years old, you got about over 18,000 negatives installed within your mind. Imagine that. You haven't even really started your life properly yet. Already at 18 years old, you already got all these negatives. So I get why so many people are negative. You get me? Because when you look at most people's upbringing, it wasn't really positive in this society. So I get why so many people have got limited perspectives of life, because look at the programming that they got, man. It's unbelievable. So when people are presenting, just like you were saying at the start, the conscious mind, when people are presenting that, yo fam, if you don't know about the subconscious, you're going to get stuck in that illusion. You're going to think that's them. It's not, fam. The real part of them is their action, fam. I keep on saying it, man, because so it resonates with people, man. People really need to tap into action, because when I really tapped into action, which Lady Crown's really big on, because that's what's really helped her manifest, it changed my whole life. Because I realized, you're saved. You've got a choice in this present moment whether to help yourself or not. What are you going to choose? And I'm on the path of the light now, so I'm choosing that action all the time to help, not only self, other people as well, because we're in a world where, trust me, the ego is treacherous, man. It's treacherous, but the thing about the ego is you can use it in a brilliant way, because all you have to do is have a positive vibration about yourself, because the ego is there to protect self, when you use it in a positive way. But if you're using it in a negative way, you already know what I'm going to say. It's going to be a flip to that. You know what I mean? You're going to start hurting self and other people. You know what I mean? So remember this, yeah, everything's vibration. I'm going to leave it on this now. Every time you focus on something, you're making a vibrational agreement. So you're manifesting, whether good or bad. I leave it on that. Trust me, man. Focus is everything out here, man. Real life, man.
Real life. That we'll deal with.
Focus.
Absolutely. the fires in Maui looking more and more suspect. These burnt out vehicles, you've never seen anything like it. You've got burnt out vehicles, but then you've got, you know, trees that look like they're untouched. Don't make any sense to me. But what I found quite disturbing was that this has been a prime piece of land that the natives have lived on for thousands of years, and never wanted to give it up, regardless of what offers of fiat currency. Because let's face it, they weren't going to carry a ton of gold and put it down and say, take this. They want you to set the piece of paper. Obviously, the people then steadfast. You know what I mean? That's their homeland. That's their motherland. That's their history, their culture. Everything's there. Now these people have been totally devastated by, you know, what took place, and on top of that devastation, in terms of the loss of life, family, friends, you know, and their personal possessions, they're now getting phone calls from realtors, real estate agents, as we call them over here, asking them if they want to sell. Now, you just think, you know, something like that happening, the first thing you'd want to do is, you know, get as much aid to the people, them out there, as you possibly can. Give them whatever support you can. They're going to need counselling. All of those things should be, you know, bam, bam, bam. You know, and America's very quick at delivering aid to the likes of Ukraine. You know, Zelensky got billions and billions to fight off the Russians, you know, and their proxy war that's taking place or took place over there. I don't think to date they've sent anything over to Hawaii, even though Hawaii became a state of America because they just took it, you know, they just captured it. Oh yeah, that's it. But this wonderful part here, they didn't have. Seafront, beautiful, but actually, if you look at the images now, it's unrecognizable. But how heartless can you be when people's lives have been totally devastated and they're at the lowest you could dare be ringing round to find out whether or not they want to sell? When you hear things like that, you have to question what took place and how it happened. You've got lots of very wealthy Americans, Oprah Winfrey, Will Smith, lots of Barack Obama, who've got acres and acres of land in Hawaii, and their big properties built up there, not touched, not even a little small droplet, nothing, don't touch theirs. But these ordinary men and women, hard-working men and women, everything they got's been devastated. We know that the world's a stage, and we know that nothing is coincidence or happenstance. It's all done by design. Yeah. So that's a fact. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's send out that positive healing energy. Those of us that can actually make a donation to the right people, then, because there's you know, there's Red Cross that are supposed to be in there, but you know, that's the Rothschild. Red Cross means Rothschild, and we know about them, don't we? So why would you send your money to them? I know if there are legitimate GoFundMe's out there, you know, maybe it's a £5 or £10 or whatever, then, you know, let's all make an effort to make some sort of donation so we can help the people on the ground, because they actually do need it. I mean, they had snorkeling expeditions, you know, a day or two after this total devastation of these people's island, right opposite them. You could, you know, they're in the water and they look over, nothing but devastation, and they're having snorkeling expedition. How could you want to go on one? And I'll be like, oh, you know what, this has just devastated these people. I know we bought to go on this snorkeling and we're going to go past it. No, I'm not going. Oh no, people are out in the water enjoying themselves like it never happened. You know something? We're going to have a lot to pay for and a lot to answer for. No.
I thought he was going to say something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what was it?
You know something?
Oh, the chickens. That's just chicken.
Yeah.
There's
people going to, you see, karma, it will come back, you know. Trust me.
Yeah.
Because you can't ignore the plight of your fellow men and women, because it's not your house, not your life, not your family. So I'm all right. No. Especially when you know, say, that don't look right, because it isn't right. The way they said it happened, it's not possible. You know, and just look back at the history and how long they've been wanting to capture this little piece of island, but the natives wouldn't let go of. Very, very strange, isn't it? You already know what's happening with the banking. My God, I talked about Evergrande who collapsed, I think it was last year in China, and there's, Evergrande, all the other countries have got some involvement, some investments in Evergrande, and that went, but Chinese propaganda, just like the Western propaganda, they just gloss it over, everything's fine. They're really crashing. Their economy is crashing. Everybody's economy is crashing. You know what I mean? You've got people taking hammers to cash point machines because when they get there it says no money available or unavailable. There's this woman actually battering it with a hammer out of frustration. The push for the cashless is full on because that's the only way they can maintain the control. Without that, they have no control over your life. So what does that tell you? Get your freaking money out. I don't give financial advice, but they've already given you to the 11th of September. I don't know how come them banks aren't packed every day up until the 11th of September with people down there saying, yeah, I'm drawing my money out. Left a little bit in there, so their account no close, but think money that you can't afford to lose, you need to take it out, and don't think, it's NatWest, I'm all right. No, NatWest proliferate throughout all the other banks. They were fined 14 billion in America for practices that weren't quite right, and they've had massive fines over here. The thing is, when these banks get fined, like JP Morgan and all those big banks, Goldman Sachs, you don't hear about it. But why would you fine a bank? Obviously because they're doing things that aren't right. They're corrupt, but they're too big to fail, so nobody goes to jail. And when nobody goes to jail, they continue to do the things that they did, which is what is happening now. If people went to jail in 2008 for the absolute calamity, we wouldn't be going through what we're going through now, because they'd be like, oh shit, we can't do that because they're going to lock me up, take everything off me. No, bankers still get rewarded. They still get paid out. If shareholders get paid out, you will get nothing. I've got one more gripe before I go, and this has really been getting on my nerves. I don't know about Uno, but those e-scooters and those e-bikes and all the rest of it that the council seem to just loan out to whoever, and you walking down the road, you've got to walk over the bikes, you've got to walk, they're just lying in the road because people get off them, and sometimes they just a child will walk past and just push them over, or you get some high winds and it will throw them over on the floor. But there's nobody there to pick them up. So when people talk about wheelchair users and those people in the buggies and mothers pushing pushchairs, well, what they've got to do, walk into the road, because the wall of the bike, them lie down there. These things are just rolled out without any foresight whatsoever, because somebody's making money off them, aren't they? Let's face it. I mean, you don't get to go and pick up one of these scooters for nothing. You have to pay. So somebody's generating money out of them, and they're all over the place. And on top of that, people are buying their own. So, I travel on the road. I'm not a driver because that's a commercial activity, and I've got scooters behind me, scooters in front of me. I'm like, they're not licensed, they're not taxed, they're not insured. If they have a collision with you or your body, your vehicle, who would pay for that? But yet again, your local authority is just letting this happen. You can just see why I go on, isn't it? Well, let me just give you some facts about these lovely e-scooters. They said they came out in 2021, 2022? Here we are. This is what we got. According to government figures, no cars caused any e-scooter collisions. All right? So we got 1,369 collisions, 369. Yep. Mm-hmm. We've got 342 that fell off. We've got 1,458 casualties in collisions. We've got 1,117 where e-scooter users were injured. 234 pedestrians injured. 1 pedestrian killed. You hear what I'm saying to you? 1 pedestrian was killed. So this woman's going about her business, going to work, whatever, was hit by somebody on an e-scooter, and she died. 11 users, number 11, killed. 11 people actually using these scooters killed. 421 seriously injured and 1,025 slightly injured. These are government figures. And yet every day these e-scooters are on the road without no legislation to govern them, to make sure that people use them safely, and to get them off the roads. Because listen, if I decide to go and travel in my conveyance, my private conveyance, without insurance and MOT and all of those things, it will be a problem. It will be a problem. I'll be fine. Detect the car. But you can be on an e-scooter without any of those things, cause injury, loss of life, die yourself, and nothing gets said. That just shows you what kind of a world we're living in. You see what I'm saying? Because they're allowing this to happen. They know that these things are going to happen because people are going to use them what? Irresponsibly. Because they're not going to think, you know something, it needs to be on the pavement. I really shouldn't be on the road and having 15 cars behind me because I've decided to take up the whole of the road and not move off. Because nobody don't think for themselves anymore. So yet again, oh look, the little imbeciles. You think they'd know what to do with these e-scooters. Now they don't. We're going to have to legislate, especially with all these injuries and loss of life. So they'll start saying, oh, you'll have to tax it, you'll have to insure it. Before you know it, you'll be driving, you'll be using it like somebody that's traveling on the road. Because that's what they do. They have to create the mayhem and the carnage, and then people go, you know, let's say problem, reaction, solution. They cause a problem, you know. We're going to go, oh, look, and then they're going to come and say, oh, you know what? We've got the solution. Everybody's got to be registered, and this is going to cost you £50 a year, and before you know it, it's another means of revenue collection, because that's what these people do. Unfortunately, people have to lose their lives in order for them to do what they should do in the first place. What can I say?
Through great pain and suffering comes great awakening, baby.
And that's exactly what's happening.
It's a birthing period right now.
Yo,
Not a joke out here. Real life. Yeah. I could like to say, stay away from distractions and tap into the laws of attraction and watch your reaction to life, because trust me, you determine the outcome, nobody else. You get me? And when you get to that mental state there, I'm telling you, so many things are going to change for you, because you'll be taking responsibility, and that's key. When you get to that 5D mind state, you start to take responsibility for your life and others, and realize that, trust me, you're a god and a goddess. You control reality when you really tap in it. So,
absolutely.
And also, last thing, so we've been talking about this a lot this midweek, laws of focus. Study laws of focus, because trust me, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. So we watch where our focus goes, and we'll end it on that there. It's a flip, no rehearsal, no script, no acting going on, and you gotta keep working on your mind, body and soul in order to achieve your goals, because we're there with you.
Spiritually.
You don't know, bro and sis, stay blessed. STS and Lady Crown over and out. Peace and blessings.
Peace, my people. Have a strong day.